up, my beautiful friends? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we've changed locations and we are in front of my pantry, and so I figured this would be a kind of cool video to show you guys some of the staples that I have in my pantry that keep me healthy, that help me stay healthy kind of thing. Because in our pantry we have a lot of items that are very processed, so in ours we try and keep it as minimally processed as possible, and I figured why not share some of the staples that I have with you guys and some of the tricks that I use in my pantry. So without further ado, let's get on with the video, and I'm going to share with you guys my pantry. So please ignore the mess. It's a bit messy inside my pantry, to say the least, but don't judge. I mean, really go look at yours and tell me if it's that organized, because I know it can't be that organized. So we have tons of stuff going on. We have tons of space here and we have tons of space here. This is where we keep most of our items. We also have some space underneath here that we keep a lot of items as well. So a lot of our items are bought in bulk actually. We try and buy in bulk as much as possible because you can save a lot of money that way and also reduce a lot of waste, especially in pantries, because pantries usually things don't go bad as fast. So that's what we got in here. So it's a bit of a disorganized mess. On this side of the pantry we kind of keep pretty much everything. We keep a lot of our soups, our nuts, our condiments, things like that. We just kind of keep it on this side. So down below I actually moved our sweet little, because we have like a sweet little cubby down below, and so recently I've moved it down below because before it was a bit higher, and when it's higher it's at your eye level and you tend to just grab for it. And so we moved it down here in the lower cupboard so it's not as much like in your face and you tend to kind of forget about it because you're not opening the cupboard and going, oh, there it is. So we moved it down lower so it's out of eyesight so we don't grab for it as much as possible, and then lower down we just keep oils and things like that. On this side we keep a lot of our jars and a lot of our like nuts, seeds, and things like that. And so let's just get into more details into some of the staples that I have to have in my cupboard. Alright, so one of the first staples that I have in my cupboard is natural peanut butter, and we actually keep it upside down. I'll tell you why in a sec, but we keep 100% natural peanut butter. Our extra ones in here, if they're being used, they're in the fridge because, you know, you should refrigerate it. Anyways, we keep it upside down because there's oil in here. The oil separates from the nuts, and so to keep it kind of mixed instead of separating, we keep it upside down so it's just easier to mix when we go to mix it and use it. And so we have that. That is like a #1 staple in our cupboard. Like, we are obsessed with peanut butter. It's such a good fat, especially natural peanut butter, guys. I really recommend, if you guys are trying to be healthy and make a healthy swap, is to go away from the craft peanut butter that has icing sugar in it and go for the natural stuff. Also, another giant staple that we have in our cupboard, and we have been buying this like non-stop, is the everything but bagel spice. And this is like, I cannot fathom how good this spice is. If you guys have had everything bagels, or like in French they're called plein goût, if you've had those bagels and you really like them and you love the taste that they have, I 100% recommend getting this spice. Unfortunately, this spice specifically is from Trader Joe's, so that is from the States. If you guys know, I'm from Canada, so we go to the States quite often and we buy some, but I have seen it popping up slowly in different stores all across Canada. So if you ever see some, I really highly recommend you snag some. Also, something that we keep in our cupboard as a little bit of a treat, we don't eat this quite often, is the Just Ranch. This is the best vegan ranch that I have ever had. It tastes exactly like ranch and it is so good. And so unfortunately, like, it is only sold in the States, but if you are in the States, I 100% recommend getting this if you're someone who likes ranch. And so we keep a couple of these in our cupboard. We just kind of store up on them because we don't live in the States, and so when we go there we kind of stock up as much as possible, and so we just keep a couple of them in our cupboard. Next on top, we actually keep a lot of just extra cans of tomato because, well, we like to make our own tomato sauce for like pasta or things like that when we just need tomato sauce. So we have like ground tomatoes, diced tomatoes, things like that. They're all just stored up there because, well, they're cans and we don't go for them very often. Also, here we have some Amy's lentil soup. This is literally my favorite soup ever. This is so good. It's an organic soup and it is just so delicious. So if you're ever looking for a really good soup and a really healthy soup, I really recommend the Amy's lentil soup. It's vegan, it's good, and I love it. So also we keep a lot of black beans and chickpeas in our cupboard because that's a big staple for us. It's our source of protein. We like to eat a lot of legumes, and so we have tons of cans of this usually. Lower down we keep a little bit of mustard, some Just mustard and some honey Dijon mustard. That goes really well with your chickpea tuna. Another staple that I have in my cupboard, and literally for everything, is coconut oil. This stuff just goes for like literally everything, moisturizing, whatever you want to do. Use coconut oil. It is just a natural product that works just literally for everything. And so this is a staple for me in my cupboard because I do use it a lot in my cooking. If you're looking for a really good coconut oil, this is one that I go for. This is the Vita Coco coconut oil, and you can get this in Target and actually in a lot of grocery stores. This is 100% organic, virgin, cold pressed, and unpasteurized, and it honestly, you want to go for as natural coconut oil as possible. You really want to go for something that's been cold pressed and unpasteurized. When you're looking at a coconut oil, I really recommend trying to find those aspects on a coconut oil just because it's healthier and it's raw and it's more natural than finding processed coconut oil. Another spice that I'm completely obsessed with is the roasted garlic and pepper spice. We get this in bulk. As you guys can see, this is actually quite a big one. We get this from Costco. It is so good. I could put this on literally everything. It is the best spice ever. Along with the everything spice, love this so much. This is just like a lentil soup mix with some rice and some quinoa. You literally just put it with some vegetable broth and then you kind of have your own mix and you just add a little bit of spices. Super easy and just easy to buy when it's like this. Also, another staple in our cupboard is nutritional yeast. It is of course a staple for us because it does have B12 in it and it is good for our bodies. And so if you're going vegan or you're looking to eat more plant-based, I recommend trying nutritional yeast. It also makes your food a little more cheesy. It just gives it that kind of cheesy texture. And so this is quite a big staple for us. We go through a lot of this and it's just like good. It makes our food a little more cheesy, and you know, who doesn't like cheese? Lower below we just have some pasta sauce that's already pre-made. We don't use it that often, so it's been there for quite a while. And of course we have some organic noodles. These ones are just regular noodles, and then the other ones that we have are made from like quinoa and chia seeds and all those fancy things. So we just use these for pasta noodles instead of the processed ones as much as possible. So like I said before, we have our little treat kind of cupboard down here. And so we actually keep a jar, it's kind of getting low, of ginger chews. These are literally have been a staple of mine for like ever. They're just the Chimes ginger chews. They're like little snack ones. They're so delicious, and we have tons of bags in the back. Like, it's actually crazy how many bags we have, so we just keep refilling this jar. Also below we actually have a lot of bags of Squish candies. We were introduced to these at Christmas and we just fell in love with them. They're so good. They're gummy candies that are vegan. There's a store in our area called Squish and they make some of their candies vegan, so it's just nice to have candies that we know are vegan. And so we've been, you know, kind of piling through these a little bit. You know, they're just like a fun little treat to have. And then of course in my sweet cupboard, you guys know that I have to have Justin's chocolates. These are the dark chocolate ones. The dark chocolate ones are obviously vegan. They are so good. I eat these all the time. Like, literally I could just plow through a whole bag to myself if I really wanted to. I mean, like, really. And so this is like 100% a staple in my cupboard. I love it. It is so good, and we just have tons of bags because whenever we go to the States, we just load up on this stuff. So if you're in the States, you can buy these at Target and they're just so good. This is like a big staple for mine, so gotta have my Justin's chocolate. Down below, even further, we keep a lot of our oils there. We just have some avocado oil, some balsamic vinegar, and we just keep our oils that we use down there. We have like sesame seed oil as well. Also down below, we keep our La Croix. That is something also that you can only get in the States mostly. I don't think that they sell it here in Canada yet, but that is actually just a sparkling water. David drinks that more than I do, but we kind of keep a couple cans in there just because, well, when we go to the States, we stock up. So if you're like me and you're Canadian and you go to the States sometimes, I really recommend stocking up on some of this stuff because it is just so good. Moving on to actually my favorite part of the pantry is this side. I just love this side so much. It makes me feel a lot healthier when I look at this side. So we actually keep a lot of our stuff here in mason jars because we do buy in bulk, so a lot of the stuff just goes into the mason jars. We buy a lot of our stuff from Bulk Barn. If you guys here in Canada, or like really any bulk store, we get a lot of our stuff from. And so I'm going to share a lot of my staples with you guys. I'm just going to move you guys a little bit closer. At the top, we actually keep a lot of our baking ingredients like baking powder, cocoa powder, molasses, things like that. Things that we just don't use that often. We kind of keep at the top there. And then here we actually keep a lot of our breakfast stuff, like our oats. We have oatmeal quite often. Well, David has it more than I do because, well, we all know I'm not the biggest oatmeal fan. Also, another big staple in my cupboard is brunella, or however you want to pronounce it. Everyone pronounces it differently. This is just a green powder. It's like an algae powder. It is so good for you guys. Like, if you really want some nutrient dense food to add to like a smoothie or shake, I really recommend getting this. I also keep a lot of maca powder. This is just something that I buy in bulk. It's really nice to add into some smoothies as well. It just is nice when you add it to like a nice chocolatey smoothie. It just complements it really well. It has tons of benefits, of course, especially if you guys have acne or hormonal acne or anything like that. This does actually help a lot with acne. Next, we just have some coconut flour, and then we also have some sesame seeds. they're just good to add to like literally anything. We have dates in a bag because I'm not really sure why, but we have dates. And also we have some organic coconut flakes in the cupboard. I try and buy the ones that are like unsweetened. You want to keep it as natural as possible because like those little sneaky things like eating coconut flakes, you think you're being healthy, but the ones that are sweetened are actually adding sugar into your diet. So you want to try and find things that are unsweetened or things like that so it's less sugar in your diet. So we just have some organic unsweetened coconut flakes. Also, another huge staple in my cupboard is turmeric powder. This stuff I try and buy as much as possible. I go through this quite a bit because, well, we try and eat it and ingest it as much as possible because it does help reduce inflammation in your body. And so when you're sick or you're just trying to be healthy, obviously, turmeric powder is the way to go, like for sure, 100%. I try and use this as much in my recipes and things like that. So if you're looking to add a really good spice to your pantry or you're looking to just be healthier, I really recommend finding recipes with turmeric powder in it and eating more turmeric powder, obviously. Pinterest has been my savior in like finding recipes like this. So go on Pinterest, find turmeric recipes, and I recommend it. I'm like literally cleaning out my cupboard. I don't know why I just took everything out. But I did. So below is where we keep a lot of our jars. We just have pumpkin seeds. These are so good for you and they're actually really high in protein. So we try and eat a lot of pumpkin seeds. These ones are obviously like really natural, really raw as much as possible. We get them at Bulk Barn, so this is a lot of our bulk stuff. So here we actually have quinoa. It is just like so easy to make. You like literally pour it in with some water and then you have like a side dish or like a healthy alternative than, you know, having pasta or rice or anything like that. We got our chia seeds as well. Chia seeds is a huge staple for us, and also hemp seed. Hemp seed is a huge staple for us. We add this like literally to like our breakfast, our oatmeal, our smoothie bowls, our shakes, things like that. Hemp seed's always on top, or chia seed. We also have some flaxseed in the back as well. And then another staple of mine that I have to have because I have like the biggest sweet tooth ever is dark chocolate chips. I love dark chocolate chips so much. This is like has to be in my cupboard, like honestly. I like to add it to my oatmeal or I like to just add it to some of my things. And dark chocolate chips are just the way to go. We buy it in bulk as much as possible because it is just cheaper and it just saves more money. If you're looking for a healthy alternative to kind of curb your sweet tooth, I really recommend dark chocolate. When I first turned vegan, I actually was not a big fan of dark chocolate because, well, I was used to milk chocolate, but slowly I started incorporating it more in my diet and now I'm just like the biggest dark chocolate fan and I love it so much. So 100% if you're looking for something to curb your sweet tooth, get a big bag of dark chocolate and it's just like the best to have. So we have a cupboard down here as well and we just keep a lot of our baking ingredients like flour and things like that. One big staple that we have been switching to this year is moving from white salt to Himalayan salt because Himalayan salt is just actually healthier for you. And so we just bought this giant bag of Himalayan salt. We try and keep it as natural as possible. It's just so much healthier than white salt. So if you're looking for a healthy swap, I recommend trying to swap to Himalayan salt. Also down here we keep a lot of oatmeal. So we do eat a lot of oatmeal in here, like I said before, and so we keep a lot of oats down there as well. Alright guys, so that is what is in my pantry. I know it's kind of like a random mishmash of stuff, but I wanted to share with you guys some of the essentials that I have and some of the healthy things that I try and keep in my cupboard as much as possible, like my staples and everything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. You guys know where it is. And yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Summer days burn me out, love just brings me down. Go inside like winter leaves that slowly leave the ground. Hey, you come back, I wanna give you a chance. Love me like you used to, so we can learn again. The skin is getting brown, baby, drink your night.